The anime token airdrop is finally here, gaming whitelists back in the mix, and after Daos Fun made literal millionaires, which projects are next? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another Crypto Gorilla video. As usual, I'm not a financial advisor. All this stuff is my opinion. I could be totally wrong. If you appreciate me doing these videos, would you kindly hit that subscribe button, maybe smash the like button while you're down there so these videos reach a wider audience. And let's jump right into it, starting off with Azuki revealing their tokenomics for the anime token, which of course is going to be airdropped to the asset holders in the Azuki ecosystem. Now, if we take a look at this article where they talk about their tokenomics, you could see that 37.5% of the anime token is going to be airdropped to the Azuki assets, and it's going to be fully unlocked on launch, which is amazing. That's exactly what you want to see. They do not specify which assets it's going to be. We could just assume it's Azuki elementals and beans, partially because those are the assets that you need in order to farm their whole gacha system. And I'm just not sure if like the Bobu farmer or if that spinning chip thing that you got, maybe that was if you attended the IRL event. I forget exactly why people got that, but the main bets I would be making are on the main 3 collections. Now, they also mentioned 13% is going to the anime DAO. So if you hold the anime token, you're going to be able to make some decisions there. And they're only doing 2% for partnered communities. I say only because Pudgy Penguins did do 24.12%, which I made thousands of dollars for free just by holding non-Pudgy assets, which is amazing. Thank you, Luca and the Pudgy team. But here they do tell us somewhat who it's going to be. So we have Hyperliquid for hype stakers, and they did just have that announcement of hype and anime, so it makes sense that they're doing this. They also have Kaido Yappers, which this is a platform you could farm for absolutely free. You do have to make it in the top 100 of the leaderboard in order to get some rewards, but I would just be farming this either way. I wouldn't even care about these short-term rewards because I am very bullish on Kaido, and I do believe their token is going to do very well. I'm going to put a referral link in the description down below so you could join, and you literally just have to talk about crypto on Twitter and then get some of these smart tweeters, I don't know what to call them, smart traders, to engage with your posts. And then jumping back to it, the final partners they mentioned are going to be anime communities. I'm not exactly sure what that means. I'm sure some people are speculating buying some anime assets that they think are going to be getting an airdrop for the anime token. Now, 37.5% is amazing. Whale put out this graphic here showing that it is the largest airdrop for an NFT collection that we have seen so far, or largest allocation, I should say, of the token. Mochaverse in second with 31.5%. We have Pixelmon at 30. Pudgy Penguins, the most recent that everybody's comparing anime to, at 25.9%. Memeland at 25, which was during the bear, and then Bored Ape Yacht Club with the ape token, which was last cycle. So amazing that they're getting such a large airdrop. I am not going to be doing any moon math here. I know some people want me to do it. I think there's a few factors. One, it's just way too complicated with this whole gacha system where there's all different rarities, and if you have an elemental or a spirit Azuki and spirit beans, like I don't want to have to deal with all of that. I'll let somebody else do it. I also don't have a dog in this race. Like I'm not holding long-term for the airdrop any Azuki assets. All I've been doing is actively trading them, which we're going to take a look at in a second. But I think the main thing here is, and while I am bullish on the anime token, I do think it is a $1 billion FDV token. I'm seeing a lot of people put out their predictions where they think it's going to be 30,000, 40,000, 50,000, whatever it is, which would cover the cost of an Azuki at today's prices. But I think the markets right now are in a very weird place. Like yesterday on Monday morning, we had a crash of Bitcoin all the way down to 90,000. ETH was sub 3,000. I think people are very stressed. We have Trump coming into office in less than a week. We have a very important FOMC meeting in 2 weeks. So there are so many things going on that I don't know. I don't even want to play this game of trying to guess FDVs and then people are going to go buy in because of what I'm saying. And then the other thing is this is an attention game. You need attention on your token. And I'm hearing that Barachain is going to be launching potentially early next week, Abstract late next week, and then we have anime token launching sometime in January. So anytime next week or the week after, it's going to be a fight for attention and a fight for liquidity. Now, as for the assets, you guys know I mentioned it in many videos. In my last video about NFTs or airdrops for anime. I showed you guys I had 9 beans. I bought them and I immediately listed them in order to sell automatically into volume. And exactly what I say here is we're going to have an announcement where that girl is opening up the chest and inside there's going to be an anime token and everybody's going to be like, oh my God, even though I knew anime was coming, I'm going to go rush and buy some Azuki NFTs. That's exactly what happened. If we look at the chart here, you could see this is when they released the tokenomics and it ran all the way to 1 ETH. So I had 3 that automatically sold. Unfortunately, 2 delisted because of the time that I listed them for. So I had 2 left and I looked and there wasn't a date on the announcement. And I knew people would lose interest very quickly, especially that there's 50 or 60,000 assets in this ecosystem. So I just went ahead and accepted 6 bids. I got rid of all 9 of my beans and I'm just going to buy back because I assumed that we would go back to roughly 0.8. I didn't think it would happen this fast. And this was mainly because of people farming or trading, as well as just the market crashing and people got really scared. But if we look at the current price, we are almost back down to 0.8. And this is where I'm going to be bidding because now we know, okay, anime is coming in January. We just don't know officially what date. But I think the second that they post a date, we're going to go back up and beans more than likely are going to go to 1 ETH or higher unless they do some weird like stealth anime drop, which would be very unfortunate in my opinion. Now, as for the price of Azuki, I think they can go to 16. You know, again, if it's not like some weird stealth drop, if they announce, hey, anime is happening on the 23rd or whatever date, I think they can go to at least 16. It would be great to see them go back to 20. That would be amazing. I'm not expecting it, but I would love it. Anything from higher, like I'm personally just taking profits. But I mean, if you look at Pudgy's, right? Pudgy's ran to 36. Who would have guessed that they're going to run all the way to 36 from 10 ETH? So anything can happen here, especially when the FOMO is like really wild. But again, like I said, the markets are really choppy, so people are scared. I'm not expecting these to go above 20. Now, as for the other airdrop NFTs that I've been watching, of course, there is Doodles. When I was writing my script for this video, they were sub 4 ETH. So they had corrected over 50% from the top of 8 ETH after the original token is coming announcement. However, I did just notice they tweeted this. So I guess, and they just say make something in this trailer. Like, I don't know why this caused a pump in the floor unless I'm missing something. I'm not exactly sure, but you could see now they've pumped back to 4.3. So I've been accumulating the Genesis boxes, the duplicators, and I have 2 Doodles. They're all listed. And I do believe this is where the liquidity is going to flow after anime happens for Azuki. And I do think the Doodles team is waiting for anime to be done, maybe even abstract to be done, or not done, like for the hype to be done because the airdrop happened, that liquidity event happened, and then they're going to start really pushing their marketing. So that's what I'm expecting out of this collection. Yes, I'm still holding. Yes, I am down on my purchases, but I have a ton of bids on this stuff. Like I have so many bids on duplicators, on Genesis boxes, not really on Doodles. I do have some, but for other reasons. And then the other collection is, of course, Jirasan. Again, I also have bids on this. I'm still holding my 16, and I'm not worried at all about price fluctuation because we know that Redacted is coming very soon, and we're getting a minimum of 10% airdropped of the token. So if Redacted is at 300 million, which I believe is very possible, they have a ton of products under Redacted. That would be $3,000 per Jirasan, which is, you know, with the crash now happening in ETH, that's more than the cost of one Jirasan. And that's not considering that there is a RampX airdrop, there is an iAgent airdrop, and there is potentially an airdrop for Bullock. So I'm sitting pretty in my Jirasans. I'm hoping that these break this massive 1 ETH barrier. Guys, delist. Delist sub. Okay, I have one here at 1 ETH. Everybody else than me, delist sub 1 ETH. And hopefully we can break through that and then just sky's the limit. But again, I'm still holding my 16 and I'm not going to be selling under 1 ETH because I just think these things are way undervalued considering the number of token airdrops that they're going to be getting already confirmed, not counting the hopefully secret ones that they have planned. Now on the other side of NFTs, we have whitelists, and I think most people are just waiting for Barachain, Abstract, and Monad to launch. I still have to put out my Monad whitelist video. I wrote it. I'm still researching some newer projects, but it'll come out eventually. Now, to be honest, of those three, my most hype is probably none of those three. It's actually Hyperliquid NFTs. I think those are going to catch a lot of people off guard, especially since it's very difficult to find info on them. We can't even trade Hyperliquid NFTs yet. So a lot of it is happening in these like OTC deals. It reminds me of old school ordinals. So I'm working on some content there. I'll probably drop some tutorials, as well as I did one whitelist video where I spoke about some Hyperliquid NFT whitelists that I think are going to absolutely cook, but I'll put up some more videos in the future because I'm finding more and more projects, and I'm finally, thank you to a friend, able to talk to some of these Hyperliquid teams. Now, going back to the three, Berachain, Abstract, and Monad, I think the one that's the most open to people is definitely going to be Abstract. Like, they're the easiest to collab with. I've had a lot of difficulty collabing with Berachain and Monad, which is potentially going to be the downfall of their NFTs, not opening up to everyone else, exactly like we saw with Ordinals. I've debated tweeting about that a couple times because it's been very frustrating collabing with some of these communities. But what I'm really looking forward to on Abstract is going to be the GameFi, or the on-chain gaming projects. There's a ton that I'm super excited for. Of course, there is On-Chain Heroes, and the rings are performing incredibly well. They were pushing 4 ETH. They're currently at 3.65, and we did get that one of one ring, the Void ring here, selling for 11 ETH. So I love seeing that, and this gives me so much more confidence for their project launch. There's also Gigaverse, which is by the Good Luck Have Funners, that's what I call them, team. And again, their NFTs are also doing great, currently at 0.55. And on top of this, they've been hosting these auctions. They've had many auctions in the past, and they have many more in the future, but this is a series of 7 auctions. The first one went for 10 ETH, the second one for 11, the third for over 13, and the one yesterday, 11. I think there's one live right now. It's currently at 7 ETH. So everybody who's bidding on this stuff is going to get an airdrop for the game, the Gigaverse game, like a exclusive in-game airdrop. But these things are selling for this much when the floor is 0.55. So these are one of ones with like unique utility, and this just bodes so well for the Gigaverse project. So I love seeing this. GG's to the team. Congratulations. And all the money minus 10%, because 10% of all the auctions are going back to the Crusader. So GG to the guy who bid on the first one. But 90% of those funds is going back to sweep the Good Luck Have Funners floor and burn. So it reduces the supply, and it's going to pump the floor. So these are another one that I've been accumulating as well as bidding on. Now, another project that I'm seeing get a lot of attention is Duper. This is a multiplayer play to earn strategy game, and they're going to be dropping multiple NFT collections on Abstract, but the first one is their Genesis collection, and it's going to be a sub 1K supply. So this is another one that I would try to get whitelisted for, especially that it's on Abstract. I think they're going to give a ton of support to both their NFTs and their gaming projects. And then after that, this one isn't on Abstract, but it's another game project with a Genesis NFT that I think is really interesting. The company behind it is called Sonzai Labs. They already have a product out, and I found out about this because of NFT Boy, so shout out NFT Boy. They already have a product that's out. It's a Telegram game called Telemafia, and I know there was a trend with Telegram games where literally every game was trying to release like a tap game that nobody cared about after 10 seconds. Their game is very different. This is a Telegram bot you can add into your group, and then you can have battles within your Telegram group. So Fish wrote this really great thread here showing you how to play. So you're able to battle against other people in your Telegram groups and earn points. So it's really fun. This is the kind of games we see on Discords all the time. So it's cool that they already have one product out there. And then they're also building an AI concierge, which it works in the game, but it also, they say, could interact with IRL crypto stuff. So they're doing both gaming as well as AI, which I think is the perfect mix, and that's going to be the future of gaming. But of course, they do have a Genesis NFT. The supply is 888, although the mintable supply is 500. It's the first project that I know of that are going to be using the limit break, that new contract where you're able to set a minimum floor. So the min floor is going to be 0.1. You're not going to be able to list the Genesis NFT for less than 0.1. So they do have an application if you want to try to get whitelist here. I will link it down below. Now, I did want to cover all of the DAO stuff, both on Daos Fun as well as Daos World. So let's start off with Daos.Fun. And it's funny, my last last video here, I called it like the next 150x whitelist is happening on this platform. And then by chance, either that day or like the day after, AI Accelerator, whatever how you pronounced it, drops and makes like literal millionaires. I know there was a ton of controversy about this. We are not going to talk about the drama. I wrote a mini post about what my thoughts. I'll link it down below if you want to go read that. But this thing was an absolute cooker. Obviously it's down now, but if you put 0.5 Sol, at one point it was worth over $250,000. Even now at 100 mil market cap, I think it's still worth over 6 figures. So 0.5 Sol to 6 figures, insane. And obviously all these guys at the top here, who I think a lot of them are advisors, so they're not really allowed to sell, at least not like one clip nuke it, but their 5 Sol at one point was worth over $2 million. So there was a lot of jealousy. A lot of people were freaking out. Again, we're not going to talk about that. Who cares? Look for the next opportunity. Like, don't focus on what other people are doing. Focus on what you could be doing to make $1 billion and retire your family. So in terms of upcoming projects, just look on the homepage. Like, there's a few right now. There's 4 that are currently raised or about to raise. So they are currently accepting. So for example here, and I am getting whitelist for this one, full disclosure, we have Meep. And what these guys are doing is releasing an AI agent called Meep, and they have a website where they write articles about crypto, about Web3 and all that. And Meep is going to be using AI to source topics, give that info back to the editors. They're going to be able to write articles and run it through like Google SEO, figure out what works, what doesn't, and it's going to help them write articles. I imagine the end game here is that the Meep bot is going to be able to do the whole process. It's going to be able to find interesting topics, breaking news, whatever it is, write articles, run it through Google, figure out like how to improve the keywords, how to improve titles or clickbait images or whatever it is, and then really improve that process, both for the editors, like it's able to help out the editors who work on this website, but also for the AI itself and just become self-sufficient. So if this works, the website's going to get more clicks, the revenues are going to go up. And as you can see here, the revenues are going to be going back, or a portion of the revenues are going to be going back to the DAO. So this is just one idea of the many tokens that are launching. But if you want to try to get whitelisted for this stuff, you have to be creative. Like, you have to stand out. Yes, you could join their Telegram and maybe catch an invite link if they say like, hey, 3 spots and drop a link and you get lucky, but you should be trying to stand out and write threads about this stuff and create content about this stuff. Maybe, you know, explain to people what is Meep or whatever project that's on the front page. It doesn't have to be Meep, right? Any of these projects, and explain what it is. Explain the possibilities that it unlocks. For Meep, like, what are the future of AI journalists? I don't know, speculate, like write things that people want to read, and then maybe you're going to get lucky and you're going to be rewarded with a whitelist. And then hopefully it ends up making you money. Just because something is launching on DAOs, it's not a guarantee that it's going to be a 10, 20, 100x return, but a lot of the projects have been performing well. So I know it's not easy, but it's not supposed to be easy. Like, if getting whitelist for AICC was easy, it would have never did, I don't know, a 4,000x or whatever X return this project was. Now, the upcoming project that a lot of people are trying to get, which isn't on the website yet, so I'm assuming it's going to be on Daos.fun, and that is Partners, which is by Sesame. If we click any of his posts here and we scroll to the comments, you can see everybody is putting this puzzle piece in their name as like this pledge of allegiance to Sesame to try to get whitelist for his project. I know they do have a form here that you're able to fill out to try to get whitelisted. So I'll link that down below. Hopefully it's not closed, and hopefully some of you are able to get whitelist for it. I also know his NFT collection did pump. AI16Z Partners, it went all the way to 12 Solana, currently back down to roughly 8. I am holding one of these, so I do hope it keeps pumping. But the assumption here is that they're going to either get an allocation or they're going to be getting an airdrop. There's been no indication that that's the case, but like I said, I'm holding one, so hopefully it does happen. So again, it would be great if some of you guys were able to get whitelisted for this stuff, but with the amount of hype that it has, it is very difficult to get. And that's part of the process. Like, even me, dude, I make a ton of videos about this stuff. I've covered so many of these projects. Like, I didn't get AICC. I don't get, like, a lot of whitelists fade me. They don't collab with my group. They don't even give me whitelists. Like, it's normal. You just have to put your effort, and if it doesn't work, like just look for the next opportunity, and hopefully you help somebody along the way with your thread or the information that you were providing. Now, the other platform that I wanted to talk about is Daos World, and they recently had their 3 Bears capital raise, which I covered in my Barachain video. This one also did very well. If you were whitelisted and you put in 0.069 ETH, it ran all the way to 3.5. So that's roughly like a 50x return if you full clipped out of it in one shot at the top, of course. Now it is down. So I think it's somewhere around like 1 ETH. Still amazing returns. However, they do have a fully transparent system here where you're able to stake the previous launch tokens and you're able to get whitelist for the future launches by proving your loyalty that you're still a holder, right? That you're staking the coins and you're not just minting and dumping them. Now, the next project that is launching is called HardwAIreDAO, and this is like a deepen play. They're basically going to use the money to go out and buy graphics cards, and they're going to use or lend that compute power out to AI projects. Those AI projects are going to pay. The money's going to come back into the DAO. They're going to use it to expand, invest in new ventures or whatever it is, maybe buy more hardware. And this one also has an application. Again, I will link it in the description down below, and hopefully some of you guys can get it. It's not going to be easy. There's only so many spots to go around, and a lot of this stuff is very hype, especially that 3BC was a 50x return. Like, who wouldn't want a 50x return, you know? So again, do your best, try to get it. Like, if you can't, then I don't know, move on to whitelists or meme coins or something. But for those of you who do manage to get it, I hope you guys cook. And that's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it and found it informative. If you did, be sure to give it a big thumbs up. If you haven't already done so, would you kindly hit that subscribe button, smash that bell notification. Thank you for watching another Crypto Gorilla video. Peace.